setting up a pricing calculator for vinyl wrapping services. I'm going to have two parts to this. The first one will be car personalization, getting, personalized color scheme for personal use, and then I'm going to have a separate one for business wrapping where you would, print the graphic and whatnot. I'll start with the first version. Now, what I did was I went into ChatGPT and I just went ahead and created a basic formula, or I got the variables together. I spent some time just doing a little bit of research on the industry as a whole. And so I'm going to start with this. I'm going to go new calculator and I'm going to generate a formula using that content. This part will take a few seconds. You can see we have no variables, no formula whatsoever right now. Give it a little bit of time and it'll build this out for us. Okay, so it adds all of this. Now we're going to have to tweak this a little bit. First, we're going to have to, of course, take out the base rate, take out the minimum price, labor detail level. Probably take that off. Trim removal, material type. Okay. Okay. So the first question is going to be car type. And we've got coverage percentage, material type, body complexity, and then add-ons. We'll cut that question as well. Then we'll just cut all of the formula and we'll just build a formula from scratch. Paint condition, we can probably just cut this, to be honest. And now let me go ahead and upload the icon. And then we'll save that. And now, before I've made any real edits to it, I just want to go test it out. Okay, of course the price shows an error because we don't have anything in the formula, but I get to at least see how the variables look. Now let's go ahead and dive back into it. Vehicle size. Let's see, 200, 230. Okay. Now, you could take it by, let's see, vehicle square foot, and we could just start off by multiplying this by 10, and then go immediately up to a closer actual price, because vinyl wrapping is usually around 3 to 4 grand. Body complexity, simple, moderate, complex. Okay, so we'll add that variable. Trim removal, we'll add this as a variable also. Okay. Now, of course, the material would also be a big factor, so we'll add that as an option. Material multiplier. Okay, now we might have a default minimum of maybe 1500. You can also do conditional minimums. I'll leave that off right now unless that comes up. And now what I want to do is create custom icons to go with this as well. So let me head back over and I'll use Google Nano Banana to generate these images. Okay, so I've got those being generated. Okay. Okay. Now I think I got an icon that I like, an icon pack. So I'm gonna go into the icon splitter and show you guys how this looks in just a second. Right, let's tone down the background removal. Okay, so this one will be, let's see, metallic. Yeah, this one will be metallic. This one will be gloss, chrome, carbon fiber, matte, color changing, and then print it. Now we'll head back over to Autobidder, go into formulas. Now we'll go into material type, and this is where we can update each of these. What was the first one? I think gloss satin. I think it was this one. This one. Carbon fiber. Scholarships. Okay. Okay. Now for the icon vehicle types, I think that might be there. Okay. Now you could add a card as well, which would have like an example of each image. And maybe I'll do that actually. I just like to click save between edits so that I don't lose anything. And then let's go back to the icon splitter. Right. Oh, I forgot to save that part. Okay. But here you can see the different choices. Now, I'm going to go ahead and copy each of these, and I'm going to grab this again. All right, now we can test the formula again. We can set those icons to be a bit more visible. Could also just make an effort to make the icons fit that size. Okay, so now that's a bit more visible. You can see more of the car now. Okay, so now we got the pricing calculator working. Okay, we've got that. Okay. Now we've got an example image I guess we can use here. Okay. I'm not a huge fan of how that's looking, but I'm not really sure which is which, to be totally honest with you. See, and now I didn't put like the perfect colors here or like the perfect images, but this kind of makes the formula a bit cooler because now, it's a bit more interactive. You can see the different types of cars, that show up there. Um, and yeah, that covers that. Now, I said I wanted to do the same thing for business wraps. Now, this is going to be mostly the same as, the other one, but there's going to be a few variations here. And this is just coming up with like a random formula, but obviously, if you do this for a living, you'd have a better understanding as to, what can be removed there and, what needs to be added. So this one, I'll do the same thing. I'll paste in the formula. Okay, now we're going to have to that. Let's go ahead and cut these two questions. We'll take this off. We'll take off installation location. Design complexity. Material type, print type. Okay, base rate. We can take that off. Oh, that was a conditional. It would only show if it was a trailer. Okay, we could take trailer off. I mean, you could add, trailer as an option and then, kind of how I had it, ask for the square footage of it. Just for simplicity's sake, I'll leave it off. Okay, so now it's taking this. So we could basically start this off the same way. Vehicle type. Maybe let's multiply this by 10 to start. Multiplied by coverage percentage. So partial wrap, lettering, graphics, hood and roof only. Print type, standard color, printed branding wrap. Okay, highly detailed. Material type. So far we can also multiply this by print type multiplier and material multiplier. Design complexity, body complexity, trim multiplier, and surface condition. And then maybe you'd have again a minimum price. Maybe this minimum is 2,000. You maybe wouldn't want to set this. I mean, because if a customer just wants lettering, I mean, you could do a conditional and says like when print type is not or does not equal lettering. Which one was that that asked for lettering? Oh, lettering. Okay, coverage percent. So when coverage percent does not equal, or when it equals lettering. So if the customer selects lettering, then your minimum price might be like $350 or $400 or something. Because if they just want a few letters, it might be under $2,000, right? So that's an example you could do if they select, the very simple option. So let's go ahead and save that. And then let's also make sure to upload that icon. Give it a second.